Folks, it's the Bar Down Breakdown, and with all the action on the ice this week, you might have missed something pretty interesting that happened on the way to a game. Clutch your pearls because the Canucks went casual this week. That's right, the Canucks dressed down for their Saturday night game against the Calgary Flames, and the best part about it is, it actually worked. The Canucks snuffed the Flames 3-1 to end a 6-game losing slide, and they did it while wearing hoodies, work boots, and a large smattering of plaid. Now, players have been required to wear shirts, ties, and dress pants to games according to the 2005 CBA, unless otherwise specified by a head coach or GM. So who better to join us than former Flames GM and current TSN Director of Scouting, Craig Button. Craig, would this have flown when you were a GM, and what did you think of this move?
Oh, absolutely it would have flown. First of all, the most important thing is you got to find a way to break a 6-game losing streak. And so the players found a way. You know, one thing about hockey players, athletes, how superstitious they are. So if changing their clothes helps them perform better, I'm all for it. Why do you have to wear a tie if you're losing? Get the tie off, shed the jacket, let's get playing. Because I'll tell you what's more fun than dressing up, winning.
That's very true. And we know there's one GM in the league whose name may or may not rhyme with Shusha Moriello that is notoriously strict when it comes to player appearances. But would you have any inside scoop as to whether or not there's other GMs around the league or coaches that are pretty strict and have some interesting rules when it comes to player appearances?
Well, I mean, I think every team is individual. There's teams that ask their players to wear a suit and tie, and that's all fair, and you understand why. I just don't know if it's necessary. I mean, you're asking the players to go and play. You know, let's go back to the bubble. Did you see how the players walked into the bubble? They walked in shorts and running shoes, T-shirts. Didn't stop the Tampa Bay Lightning from winning. Listen, you know, you want to be neat and clean and presentable because you're representing an organization. That's all I think should be emphasized. How you do it, I think, should be left up to the individual.
Yeah, we see so much of it in the NBA and the NFL, and this younger generation really seems to be bringing a little bit more personality to the game. So do you think you'll see more and more teams start to do this? And what do you think is changing with this younger generation?
Well, I hope so. I'd like to see it change. I don't think it's a big deal. And you know, we're seeing a relaxing of norms, of traditions all through society. And certainly as it extends into hockey, I think it's a nice change. And it allows the players to kind of flex their own individual style muscles, so to speak. And if they can do that and we can get a little different look at them instead of their number on the back of their jersey and pucks deep, I'm all for it.
Yeah, totally. Did you have any interesting instances when you were a GM when it came to dress codes?
I did. I had traded for Mike Commodore, and Mike Commodore had been playing in the minors. Now, in the minors, they're on the bus a lot, so they're in sweatsuits and whatnot, but they usually keep a suit in their bag just in case. I had traded for him after he'd been on a long American Hockey League bus trip. So when he came to us, he had one suit that had been not unpacked. Anyway, so he's playing with us now in the NHL, and he's wearing this same suit, and it's wrinkled, like wrinkled to the max. So I call in, I grabbed Mike one day, and I said, Mike, the suit. Like, you know what? It's really, he goes, yeah, I know it's been in a bag. Haven't really worn it. I don't have anything else. I only had one. I haven't been back to my place, prior to getting traded here. I said, okay, have you heard of a dry cleaner? He goes, well, I said, listen, I'll phone the hotel. We'll get that suit pressed. You'll look as good as gold. He showed up the next day. That suit was pressed to the nines. It looked beautiful on him. But you certainly understand when you're riding the bus, hey, how do you keep a suit pressed? You're crammed into a bus, crammed into small hotel rooms. You're not worried about keeping your suit pressed.
Totally. Rule number 1, boys, invest in a road steamer. You need one. Craig, so I've got to ask, if you were a player in 2021 and you were ready to do your walk into the rink, you've got your coffee in hand, you know, the social media teams all around taking photos of you, what are you rocking for your walk-in?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's all about personal style. I love color. I love florals. This is what I would be rocking. I love this style. It works for me. And in TV, you got to be able to make quick changes. So you got to move from a suit and tie into a shirt like this. And you know what else, Julia? Sometimes you got to be ready to host a radio show, Leafs lunch. I even have to perhaps have my t-shirt on underneath.
Hey, what a quick change. You know what? I'm very much into the quarantine sweatsuit look. I think I might even make that work for a walk into the arena. Thanks, Craig, for your insight, and we'll see you next time on the Bar Down Breakdown.